Hi everyone. I'd like to draw your attention to a really important and explosive story that Tehelka has done this week. Over the past few months, there's been growing evidence of the existence of a Hindutva terror network. But Ashish Khaitan, the editor of investigations at Tehelka, has scooped an incredibly crucial piece of evidence, which is a 42-page confession by Swami Aseemanand, who's a key person in the conspiracy. And this is his confession before a magistrate at the Tees Hazari court. This is the first legal piece of evidence that proves the existence of a Hindutva terror module and also points to the fact that a range of RSS pracharaks were involved in heinous terror attacks. But on November 19th, there was a very, very important arrest of a man called Swami Aseemanand, who's one of the key accused and conspirators in the terror module. On December 18th, in a really breakthrough development, Swami Aseemanand made a confession before a magistrate in the Tees Hazari court under section 164 of the Criminal Procedure Code. This has become the first legal evidence that can be held against the RSS pracharaks, and in this confession he says that it wasn't Muslims but RSS pracharaks who were involved in a series of terror blasts that start from Malegaon 2006 to Malegaon 2007, the Ajmer Sharif blast, the Mecca Masjid blast, and the Samjhauta Express blast, for which a lot of Muslim boys, scores of Muslim boys, had been wrongly arrested, tortured, and kept in prison over the years. What makes this confession really explosive is that in a very chilling way, Swami Aseemanand has admitted that he and several other RSS pracharaks and key leaders got together over several meetings and decided in a premeditated act to answer bombs for bombs. He says that this was a retaliatory act against the Islamist terror attacks on Sankat Mochan Mandir and the Akshardham temple, and he said that I told everyone bomb ka jawab bomb se dene chahiye. They picked these places for very, very chilling reasons. He says that it was he who suggested Malegaon because according to him 80% of people there were Muslims. They picked Ajmer Sharif because he says too many Hindu people went there as an act of faith and bombing Ajmer would deter Hindus from going there. They picked Mecca Masjid in Hyderabad because he says the Nizam of Hyderabad had opted for partition or had wanted to opt for Pakistan during partition. And they chose the Samjhauta Express because it was mostly used by Pakistanis. In a really, something that is going to be very, very provocative and a big tiger for the RSS and the BJP and actually all political parties to ride, is that he names Indresh Kumar, who's a senior RSS leader, as having been present at these meetings and as having financed some of these terror blasts. The other people he names is actually a murdered RSS pracharak called Sunil Joshi, who seems to have been a key mastermind and a key executor of the blasts. There are also people like Sandeep Dange, Ramji Kalsangra, all of them fairly senior RSS pracharaks, as well as a host of others. At Tehelka, we have had a lot of difficulty in deciding how to deal with this information because in the past, our stories have shown that the ATS, the CBI, many investigative agencies, not so much the CBI, but certainly investigative agencies, have wrongly picked up Muslim boys and coerced them into confessions. So in the beginning, when news started to come out about the Hindutva terror module, we were, conscience struck that why should we believe the agencies now? What makes this believable is that the agencies had retrieved 37 audio tapes from another conspirator called Swami Dayanand Pandey's laptop, in which all these people voluntarily and predating their arrests talk about how they are planning these terror attacks. What also makes this believable is that with every arrest, it is the same cast of characters that have been coming up again and again, unlike in the Muslim arrests where with every arrest you had a new mastermind, a new set of boys. Here it is the same set of people that reappear again and again, and every confession that they have made have cross-hatched and validated what has gone before. In the case of, still, those were police interrogation reports, those were police confessions, and one could not buy into them or believe that there was no coercion involved. However, in the case of Swami Aseemanand's confession, it is a confession before the magistrate. He was given the mandatory time away from police custody so that if there had been any coercion, if there had been any influence, he had a chance to admit to it, to own up to it, or to alert the courts about it. But he said that he went back, he was given 2 days to reflect, but he came back again and said, I know that I may be given the death penalty for this, but I still want to go ahead with this confession. In a curious twist of fate, in one of those human encounters that one can never account for, it was an encounter with a Muslim boy who was wrongly arrested for the Mecca Masjid blast in Hyderabad that apparently caused a change of heart in Swami Aseemanand's mind. They were both in Hyderabad jail. This boy, Abdul Kaleem, was very kind to Swami Aseemanand. Aseemanand asked him, why he was in jail, and he said, "I've been wrongly put away for a blast that I never did, and that I was tortured for it." And this apparently had such a profound impact on Swami Aseemanand that he decided to do penance for it and asked to confess. Apart from everything else, this confession is going to raise tremendous questions for the RSS to answer. In the days to come, we're going to, the RSS is going to have to confront that members of the organization have turned rogue, have been involved in heinous act that has led to the deaths of hundreds of innocent people. Are they going to keep saying that this is a conspiracy, or are they going to go in for a cleansing within? None of these revelations take away from the fact that there have been Islamist terror attacks, but what it does show is that investigative agencies have been putting away innocent people, calling them the masterminds, and allowing the real culprits, which are both of Hindutva men and Islamist boys, to have gone scot-free. What also makes it very apparent is that there was such a cynicism in the Indian criminal justice system that even when blasts went off in Muslim neighborhoods or in mosques, Muslim boys were automatically blamed for it. So there's a lot of soul searching that this confession will throw up, both for the nation, for the political parties, and for the RSS. Another thing I'd like to draw to your attention is that although Gujarat and Rajasthan have had bad human rights track records, in this case, the blasts were in Congress-led or in Congress alliance-led states. Both Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh were under the Congress governments, but the police still willfully and knowingly picked up Muslim boys here. 32 of these boys are, featured in Tehelka because they were arrested for these series of blasts, and it is now apparent that they were completely not involved. As a nation, we have to really look within us, both at the kind of paranoia that we were in danger of succumbing to. There are other questions that we need to address. SIMI was banned for being a radical organization. They were constantly blamed for terror blasts that it now appears that as an organization they were certainly not involved in. Maybe members of the organization were. If SIMI was banned, the question that we again have to ask, a dangerous one, is that should RSS be banned? My own position on this would really be that radical political thought, even hate-filled political thought, should be allowed to exist above ground in a liberal democracy. Unless it veers into violence, there should be space for all kinds of political thought. So the question is, should we really lift the ban on SIMI? It is only when people are caught in doing acts of physical violence that law should take its course. But as far as political thought is concerned, this is a question we all need to answer. Should we allow for radical political thought to exist? Is our democracy robust enough for it? Thanks a lot for listening in. Do read the Tehelka issue, which is also up on the website.